Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't good. That's much better. Welcome back to another episode of Tom, otherwise known as the One Meal Channel. We are once again having ourselves chicken and rice and everything nice. I am a 20-something-year-old living in the Midwestern United States, and I make one meal for myself every single day. And I eat that entire meal because I only eat one meal, hence the name of the One Meal Channel. And if you want to enjoy this video, watching it that is, as much as I enjoy making videos like this, grab yourself a piece of food, piece of beverage of your own, and let's enjoy it together in 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right, let's get into it. How is everybody doing today? We're going to show you how to make a Nathan meal. If I had a restaurant of my own, I would only have one thing on the menu, and that would be Nathan meal, size small, large, and extra large. Or large, extra large, and mega large. Something like that. It wouldn't be different food items is the point. It would just be one food item and just different quantities. And then if you wanted something to drink, it would just be water or a protein shake. And that's about it. So we're going to show you how we make it today. So we're going to start out with some coconut oil, about a tablespoon. You can also use bacon. You can just cook up bacon in your pan prior to making this. Take the bacon out, eat it as a snack while you're making your food, and then cook your potato in the bacon fat. But that makes the video longer. So today, we're going to prioritize the viewer experience and use coconut oil. Because although it has saturated fat in it, just like bacon grease, the fat is a different amino acid, which studies suggest doesn't raise your LDL levels, which is your cholesterol, your bad cholesterol. It has no effect on your HDL, your good cholesterol. As a man in your 20s or beyond, it's about time for you to start looking in to your HDL and LDL cholesterol, because those levels are good precursors for understanding if you're going to have issues like heart disease, diabetes, any sort of mental or cognitive issues like dementia. So keeping those levels in check is extremely important. With that being said, we are going to have a very significant amount of carbs today, because in order to get all of the daily values of calories that I need in order to sustain myself and keep the amount of food that I have in a quantity that's good enough for me to eat in one meal, because I'm no competitive eater, we have to condense our calories into the form of potatoes and rice. So we'll start out with one potato. And don't worry about the dirty spatula. This was just used for eggs and bacon earlier this morning for breakfast by my roommate, because he doesn't have one meal a day, but he has the same breakfast every day. You can find him over on the Same Breakfast channel. Just kidding, don't look that up. He doesn't have a YouTube channel on food. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take 1 cup of dry rice. This is jasmine rice. We have jasmine rice over basmati rice and other traditional white rice because it has the least contributive effects towards raising your glucosamine index. And your glucosamine index raises your blood pressure. And carbs do that to you more than any other macro. So although they're an amazing form of calories, they will raise your blood pressure. So if you are going to eat a lot of rice, it's actually good for any meal. Go for a walk, 15 to 20 minutes after you eat food. It'll help keep your energy levels up. It'll help lower your GI, your glucosamine index, and lower your blood pressure. I do not have a treadmill in the house, and because I work from home and I work in sales, so I kind of have to be on call all the time. It's tough to factor in walking into your day if you do it in the middle of the day, which is why I go all day without eating, and then I eat after work. It's about 7 o'clock right now. So, 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, and that will result in 3 cooked cups of rice. Very nice. Now we prepared for this. We have our already pre-cooked rice right here in our Pyrex container, which is glass, and it has already started cracking in the corner, which is why they stopped making these. You can get the new updated versions down in the links below, as well as anything else that you need. All the stuff that I use is listed down in the links below, and it is the best way to support the channel before we reach 1,000 subscribers, which is when we can get YouTube Partner, which we will hit before the end of this year. So I didn't always use coconut oil. Typically, like I said, it was bacon grease. Bacon grease it's better flavor. I do like the way it tastes better. But we do try to be somewhat healthy on this channel. A whole onion is what's next. Onions have amazing anti-inflammatory properties. When I did carnivore for about 6 months, the first thing that I incorporated back in my diet that wasn't beef or beef tallow was onions, for their anti-inflammatory properties. And what I would do is I would just cook them up very slightly, so that they weren't like crunchy, didn't taste like I was eating a raw onion. But I wasn't cooking all of the amazing antioxidants out of it. So, we are not attempting to caramelize these onions in any way. Kind of want nice big chunks, so I'm not concerned of having a very formal cutting method like you would see Gordon Ramsay do or something like that. His videos were so popular just a couple of years ago. Maybe he's still just as popular as he was. Still see ads for MasterChef all over the world. But I used to watch tons of Gordon Ramsay cooking videos, like him going into like prisons and doing competitions with people to see how fast they could cut things. I remember watching the video of the guy where he was cutting an onion and the other guy was cutting an onion, and the other guy beat him. And he went, wait a second, do you want a job? When you get out, do you want a job? And I love to hear a follow-up to that story to see if that guy is still working in one of Gordon Ramsay's kitchens today, because I thought that was cool. I would never get hired by Gordon Ramsay. I am too lazy. For cooking, that is. Once a week, we take a break from our typical meals, usually on the weekends, to do something special. This is something that's quick and easy to put together. I mean, relatively quick and easy. I mean, I cook my own meals every single day. Keeps me from spending money on food out, as well as being tempted to just eat bad food as well. And with regular blood work, helps you just understand and confirm that your body is not having a bad reaction to any of the food that you're putting in it. So I would recommend that everybody get their blood work regularly, like every 3 to 6 months. I would love to get some sort of partnership going with the company to promote their blood work, because out of everything, I think blood work is probably the most important, just so you get, like I said, just get an understanding of how your body is actually behaving. In America, because we have a lot of international viewers, doctors will write prescriptions for you just based on like what you say your symptoms are, without really doing any sort of tests to confirm if that is how your body is actually reacting. And then people come back and they say, well, I'm having this type of reaction, and then they'll change your prescriptions based on that. It's just, as much as we like to think that we're like experts on ourselves, we're only human, which means we make a lot of mistakes. But even when we do our best, we're kind of just like rationalizing our understanding of what's going on with like our body and our lives. And our own observations oftentimes don't match up with what the blood work comes back to. So blood work gives you a consistent way of identifying what your body is doing, gives you the precursors of what it's going to do in the future, and allows you to take action on what needs to occur in order to solve your problems. It's also just, especially if you're older, I mean, I say especially because I already do it, but like for guys, we always have to be concerned about like, prostate cancer or like testicular cancer, and we're supposed to just like check or whatever, but your blood work will just come back and tell you if there are those precursors in your blood, or if there's something that is a little bit more immediate that you should be looking into right away. So I say if you're older, I think it's just as important if you're my age in your 20s. But I think if you're in your 30s, like your mid 30s and beyond, like if you're not doing your blood work, it's a big expense. But the alternative is, what's that expense going to be when you inevitably have a health issue? So doing your blood work every 3 months means that you have a higher chance of finding something really soon after it occurs. And it's best that you catch something within 3 months than like a year. This gives you an advantage. So I think for the long-time viewers, it's important for me to mention that I will be going back to the gym more consistently now. I stopped going to the gym for a while. I didn't find myself getting unhealthy or anything by not going to the gym, but I've lost all of my muscle. I've lost all of my tactile strength. I stopped doing cardio, outside of like just walking and things like that. And I believe it's time to return. It's time to return to the gym and get a lot of that back. All right. This is our rotisserie chicken. You can get regular chicken breasts at the store. I have chicken breasts, little chicken tenders, chicken breasts sitting in the freezer right now. But I prefer getting my chicken pre-cooked from the store. It's already pre-cooked. It's pre-seasoned. Couldn't leave it in there for a couple of days. Don't have to worry about getting fancy with it or anything. Just cut it to size. I like relatively big chunks so I can pick at it with my fork. I think it keeps its shape and its form well. And a whole breast is about all I need for my meal. For a while, we would test, we would track our macros. We would track exactly how many calories were in this meal every single day. And we kind of stopped doing that because it was more or less the same every single day. But this comes out to about, bless you Noah, roommate in the garage, heard him sneeze. It comes out to about 2,000 calories a meal. So 1 cup of uncooked rice, cooked, added, 1 medium to large sized potato, 1 piece of chicken breast, 4 to 5 eggs, gets you about 1,800 to 2,100 calories. And for someone like myself that sits in an office chair and then comes out and just kind of walks around a little bit from time to time, technically a sedentary lifestyle, or definitionally, I don't need a whole lot of food. As I start going back to the gym, what I'll probably do is I will incorporate a protein shake with a cup of yogurt. And I think I'm going to need a little bit more food than that. But the point, for me, is to have something that I can consistently cook every single day that gives me the calories that I need, that is healthy for me, no matter what circumstance I'm in. You know, I don't eat food because it tastes good or it makes me feel good. I eat food based on what it does for me. And I just happen to make this, and it's something that I never get tired of no matter how many times I eat it. My body just jumps at the opportunity to eat something like this. But cooking and eating is not a fun experience for me. You know, going out to eat is. Going out to eat is a fun experience. But you know why it's fun? It's because I'm spending it with other people. Now, and I'm not going to bash you if you go out to eat and you do it by yourself. All the power to you. Go ahead and do that. Whatever makes you happy. But for me, going out to eat is not fun unless I spend it with other people. I don't think it makes the food taste better. I think that just having an experience with your friend or new people while eating is better than eating alone. It's better than spending time with your friend without food. So just elevating both experiences. Well, when I'm not doing those things, I make this. The reason why I shared with you like the chicken and dumplings, or let's just say the chicken pot pie filling without the actual pie that I made that because I was sharing it with Noah. And frankly, doing all these crock pot recipes once a week, making it for myself, it's nice sharing it with all of you, but that's the most enjoyment that I get out of it. It's enjoyable, and I'm motivated to do it, and I like it because I'm sharing that experience with all of you. It's not something that personally, like I have a hobby in or something like that. Although, despite my shortcomings, I would consider myself to be a relatively good cook. Like, for example, I know how to make a wicked pasta. I can make a fettuccine chicken Alfredo like no one's business. Noah and I can both make spaghetti. Freaking awesome. He has an awesome sauce that he incorporates that he can make. And he'll incorporate the meat into it, and he'll use elk, which is fantastic. I think elk is perfect for spaghetti. I like the more traditional meatballs. So if he made his sauce without the meats, I would make the meatballs in a skillet and add them afterwards. And I like really big meatballs, like 2 or 3 per serving. But I only like doing that if I'm cooking with somebody else, like Thanksgiving, for example. Cooking Thanksgiving with a family is awesome. Cooking Thanksgiving alone is pathetic. For me. I don't like it. I would not want to film a video like that. Unless, of course, other people I knew wanted to share in that experience. Like a personal memory of me cooking for myself, something extravagant. Oof. Nah, I want to share that with others. You help me do that. So we're putting our 3 cups of cooked rice in here. And like I said, it's a day old, so it lowers that glucosamine index spike. break it apart and kind of mix it in so that it comes to temperature, so it's not all bunched up like it is. You have a really good color on the potatoes and the onions, so I'm really comfortable with that. As you can see, there's no like oil residue at the base. That's just the worst thing when you try to fry something, is that there's just a big tub of oil at the bottom. So I find a tablespoon of that coconut oil is perfect. And even if you use bacon grease, that bacon grease will just soak up directly into the rice. So if you're comfortable consuming that much bacon grease, go for it. So we'll break up these pieces just a little bit more. Let this sizzle. Like I said, we'll bring it up to temp, because then we're going to add our eggs and we're done. Simple as that. Eggs and done. And in a half hour, you've created yourself Nathan meal. Something that you can put on the menu of your favorite Nathan restaurant. And it's just going to be called Tom. Tom the restaurant with your cook Nathan. Big pile of stuff, the side of protein shake and yogurt. What a combination. What a combination. Actually, this doesn't go in here. What am I thinking? While that heats up, take an opportunity to clean our surroundings. And we'll do our very last step. Just because we don't count our calories doesn't mean we can't do something just as special. I don't have 2 bowls out because I'm serving this for somebody else. I have 2 bowls out because we need to weigh our food. Now it's interesting, none of you have asked. You say, well, Nathan, why do you need 2 bowls? Just simply weigh your bowl, then go up and fill your food, and then come back and place it on the scale. You don't need 2 bowls. Well, I will answer that question that nobody asked for you, which is that this is on a timer of like a minute. And I don't want to be rushed when I mix a massive pile of food into a bowl, because then I make a mess. So I have had that happen to me before. So I'm like, I don't need 2 bowls. Actually, that is how I started. I didn't need 2 bowls. But then my scale would turn off. And then I just had a bowl full of food. The non-zeroed out scale. No bueno. No bueno. Now, if you cook with the bacon grease, you don't need to use any of the soy sauce. I would actually recommend not to use the soy sauce, because the soy sauce has a lot of salt in it, and the bacon grease has a lot of salt in it. So there's no point in doing that. Oh, look at that. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, and that means eggs. That means eggs. So in this final step, we're going to turn the heat on super high. The best videos I've seen of people cooking something like this have been if they had a wok, because it just gets to extremely high heat on the bottom. You get a good circular motion going. It fries the egg up perfectly with the rest of the rice, incorporates it extremely well. We are not so blessed here. And like I said, I'm a lazy cook. I don't want to learn the techniques of using a wok. That would just make more of a mess. I would if I was living alone. But I gotta be somewhat respectful of the other person that I live with. Starting with cleaning the stovetop. The stovetop has seen better days. So we'll just incorporate this in on itself, and we want all of this egg to get cooked up really well. There we go. Yeah, we don't want any wet food. Good, and that's our rice cooked up over in the cooking pot, the Aroma cooking pot. And this, after we're done filming, I'll turn the camera off and I'll set that aside for later batches. Couple more minutes of this, and we will be glad. So I think we'll let that bottom fry up really well. Do-do-do, do-do-do, all right. Well, I don't pride myself on this being a family-friendly channel, but for the most part, this is a family-friendly channel. But cover your kids' ears if they watch. Have any of you watched Mike Tyson Mysteries? It's like Scooby-Doo, but with Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson is actually the voice actor in Mike Tyson Mysteries. There's like a bunch of seasons. I wasn't even thinking about it, but there's a character in there called Pigeon, who's voice acted by the comedian Norm Macdonald, rest his soul. And he has this tell where whenever he enters a scene or he's about to say something really rude or really crass, he'll go do-do-do-do-do-do and just say one of the worst things that you could say in a situation while they're trying to solve a mystery. Anyway, I won't repeat any of it here. I'm not funny like Norm Macdonald is. But if you haven't watched it, and you are of the primary demographic of people that watches these videos, which is over the age of 25, watch Mike Tyson Mysteries. You won't have to pay for it. You'll look it up and you'll see that every episode is like $2 or $3 on like Amazon or something. I don't think you need to pay for it. I think you can just go on YouTube and watch it, unless they took it down. It's not a very high quality show, but it's, if you want a good laugh, and you got kind of a crude sense of humor, highly recommend. Secret gem. You know, I've never met a person that has also watched Mike Tyson Mysteries, but like before I introduced it to them. But everyone that I've introduced it to, which by the way is a select group of people, has loved it. They thought it's fantastic. So, super hot pan. Let's get down to business, the most important part. We'll zero this out. Let's give ourselves a weigh. We have 2.53, or if you round up, 2.54 pounds of food. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that fantastic, ladies and gentlemen? Another Nathan meal. So, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let me know if you have watched Mike Tyson Mysteries, because that way we'll have more to talk about. Alright, y'all. I have food to eat and rice to put away for tomorrow. So tune in while we make this and eat this again. Bye.